Today's guest is not only represented by the Queen of Wands, but she is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is depicted as a confident and charismatic woman sitting on a throne. She holds a wand in one hand, symbolizing her power and authority. She is surrounded by sunflowers, which represent abundance and vitality. The Queen of Wands embodies the qualities of a natural leader. She is passionate, courageous, and determined, and she is not afraid to take risks and pursue her goals with enthusiasm. She is also highly creative and has a strong sense of self expression. So, today's guest is Denise Petrie. She is the Chief Tarot Officer, or the CTO, of the Tarot Bridge. She has been a psychic tarot card reader for over 40 years and was inspired to build the Tarot Bridge using her expertise and experience that she developed over that time. Denise, I'd love to welcome you.
Thank you.
Tell us about your background.
First of all, I have to say one thing. I don't think I have any fire in my astrological chart that would make me typically the Queen of Wands. It's
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Personality wise, eons ago, I had a tarot master teacher who was amazing. And she said to me, I said, I'm the Queen of Cups because I'm a Pisces and
Right.
Scorpio rising. And she said, oh, no, my dear. She said, you're the Queen of Wands. So I said, all right. So I grabbed the label. I had to be in my 20s and I never let go of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say you're very much like the Queen of Wands, despite the fact that you're mostly water.
Yeah.
hmm hmm
Yeah. I think sometimes the cards depict more personality than astrological signs.
Yes, I believe that. I
Yeah.
absolutely believe that because I'm a Leo and I'm not sure if I'm a Leo with Sagittarius rising, and I think I'm more like the earth element. My moon is in Taurus, so I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, and a bit of Queen of Swords there too, a bit of air, even though I don't really have much air element. Tell us about your background. I know you started as a tarot reader from over 40 years ago. So tell us about your experience about
Um,
that.
I started, it was in the family. My family, the females in it, played around with the cards and stuff, and no one ever did it professionally. So I got an interest then. And I had a break between the time I was a teenager till I had my first child around 26. And that's when I stayed home. I was a stay at home mom. And I just got into it with taking classes and really educating myself on it. And I would read for family and friends. And then fast forward, I had opened a small spiritual shop. It was
Okay.
an angel and fairy store. And I would do readings in there, but I would also hold spiritual fairs. I would have different people come in and teach different classes. And then the rest is history. It just took off. Back in 2019, I think once I tried to do a YouTube channel and I just found it was way, way too much work.
Yeah.
So I was doing old school. You come to my house, you sit across the kitchen table, and I would read for you.
hmm
So then when COVID struck, I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to expose myself. I have an elderly mother I care for. So I said, maybe I'm going to have to try something online again. And it all started on TikTok. I went there and I started watching tarot card readers, and I'm like, I can do this. And again, the rest is history.
Yeah.
And it just took off. And I've been very fortunate. And then I always had a dream of having my own place. And I was fortunate enough to get two people who shared my vision, and Renee and Ralph, two good friends of mine. And we put it into action. And I wanted it to be a place where there was no pay by minute. I did not want that aspect at all because let me step back 2 minutes. I worked for, I think it was either Cassandra or Key. We're talking almost 20 years ago, and they fired me. They fired me because they said that I didn't keep the people on the phone long enough, which was hysterical if I look back and think about it now. Yeah.
Yes.
So I gave up. I gave up that. I just did it for very short term. And the only reason I did it was because I was a single mom. My store really wasn't making any money. It was just one of those financial things. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it made me feel. So I got away from it.
Right.
So I wanted my readers, I can't say my girls because I have males too, but I wanted
Right.
my readers to be able to have a little free will, price out their own readings. We have criteria. I would like you to do a 3-minute video, a 10-minute video, but for the most part, my readers have free reigns, whether it's bio, picture, it's what they charge. We do not do any pay by the minute. We don't do any of that. I would never have any of that. You get if you're paying $20, that's it. There's no hidden fees or anything. All my readers are vetted by me. And I've been fairly lucky, although I do, except for my seasoned readers like you and a couple other I consider, I don't have to worry about you girls. I do spot check people. I do watch. I
Mhm.
do watch because I've been around it so long where people have taken advantage of other people through this method of reading tarot cards. And I'm very protective of vulnerable people because I know they're easily taken advantage of. I wanted something different. I think I've created it. We have the community page now where people can chit chat together, and there's all little fun stuff over there.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And so far, it's a good group. We're building. We're getting there. We're hoping we have new readers coming on board. We have a new platform now that's a little bit more sturdy, and
Yeah.
we learned a lot in the last 7 months. So we're better. We're better
Yeah,
than we were.
that's what experience does, right? You start off, you gotta go through some of the growing pains. A lot of it's gonna be
Mhm.
trial and error, and that's the thing, yeah. And it's interesting because my story is a little bit similar to yours, although I never opened any kind of shop, but it's interesting because after I had my daughter at 26, I just fell into it as well. I fell into astrology at first, but then I just started going into tarot. So that's actually quite interesting, and I did work at Kasamba for a little bit, and I didn't like it either.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just, I think the majority, we're the only site out there that does not charge by the minute.
Yeah,
We're the
that's
only one. Everyone else charges by the minute.
yeah,
And that's where they make their money,
that's
you know,
right. Yeah.
because people don't even realize how quick it goes.
Oh,
A
yeah.
10-minute reading goes very quick. And if you're on the phone with someone, they start talking, and before you know it, it's done. And when you're getting charged, some of them charge words of 9.99 a minute. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. It adds up, and the thing is, if these psychics keep you on the phone for a long time or they convince you to stay on, you are
Yeah.
racking up a lot of debt. Yeah.
And again, I have to go back to scam, and not everybody who does pay by the minute is scammers by any means.
No.
But unfortunately, this business always gets a bad rep because there are people who are deceitful. And
Right. Yeah.
it's one of the biggest scams out there sometimes. And the readers who usually are doing it are very gifted readers. So you go to this reader and they hit on stuff, and you're like, oh my God, how did they know that? They have the answers. I'm very vulnerable. I need the answers. And then they prey on it, and they
Yeah.
take advantage. So I've seen too much of it. I would have different people come into my store and tell me all these crazy horror stories, and I still get it with people who buy readings from random readers on TikTok. And
Yes.
yeah. And
Yes.
we have people who get continuous readings, but I'm at a point now where they're safer with us.
Of
If we
course.
send them somewhere else, it's no, they're safer with us.
Yeah. You could really say that with any industry. I don't know if you heard about the what happened with the funeral industry, about the funeral home in Colorado recently, about yeah, they basically faked cremating these bodies and they actually ended up letting them stack up at a funeral
Oh
home.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did hear about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Unfortunately, you know what? I think in every line of work, and
Yeah.
ones that you look up to, or you're like, oh, they would never do that.
Mm,
They do it too.
they
Every,
do.
it's just getting that integrity thing. Integrity is so important when it comes to this business.
It really is, and that's the issue. But as you said, so many psychics have done, so-called psychics, I should say, have done so many things that were wrong and have tarnished the reputation of the legitimate ones. And that's very
Correct.
frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that you created the Tarot Bridge because I do believe that this is a site, a platform that will restore the faith in what we do because there's a lot of bad ones out there
Oh,
that
really bad.
that shouldn't even be around anymore.
Yeah.
But this one has so much potential because you also don't take too much commission wise, which is very
No.
good. Yeah, which
Mm.
is great.
No. We want you to have like your own kind of business in a way. I wanted it set up like that. because I know most platforms take triple of what
Yes,
we take, more or less, double to triple.
right.
So, no, we didn't want it that way. We figured we would build on quantity,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah.
I believe over time it's going to be great. It just needs some time. And hey, you know what? That goes for everything. But I believe this is a Seven of Pentacles kind of situation here. It's going to build. Just let it just keep growing. Rome was not built in a day. But I think it's doing quite well considering it was launched just last spring. So I think
Yes.
it's doing quite well, and I'm excited to see how it evolves. I believe there's going to be a lot of really excellent things in store for it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, I have another project in conjunction with it where I want student readers to have a section.
Mhm.
So if you want to go visit the Academy of Tarot Readers and go visit them and pay a third of the price or a
Right.
quarter of the price just to test out these readers, you can. And as they build, they will be moved over into the senior with the senior readers. And that's
That's
the only way you really learn is by doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a fantastic opportunity. And I do feel like eventually my daughter may end up taking that on. She said right now, because I did offer that as a possibility to her. And she goes, right now, no, but you never know. Eventually, maybe in a couple of years or so, she'll be open to it. I do feel like she will take this path as well, though, at the right time. But I think that's so amazing. So, are there any other exciting things on the horizon with the Tarot Bridge?
Yes, we are going to be having our own podcast too there. We have a blog that's put up that Renee writes. She's a writer. She puts up the blog.
Hmm.
We have the circle, which is the community page where I run different things. And we just had a documentary with myself and another reader who works a lot of these sites.
Hmm.
And we had that. That was a paid event. We also, you and I have an event coming up the end of the month where
Hmm.
you ask one question and you get two readers who answer your question. That's a paid event too. Yeah, we have a lot of different things coming up. Like I said, our big thing was to get ourselves back up because we've been down
Yeah.
because we switched platforms. We had such a hard time with the first place we went with. And
Yes.
we've come across a place that we have so many more options. We have now loyalty programs. So every time you buy X amount of readings, you get a discount off. Now, if you're looking, like, say somebody's looking for you to do a reading and you trigger yourself on with a green light, they'll know that you're online. So we have a
Hmm.
lot of fun stuff. We have more, but those are the two basic ones.
That is fantastic. So, how can people reach you?
Towerbridge.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you're also the Queen of Wands on TikTok.
I am the Queen of Wands on TikTok. Yes, I
Awesome.
am. I do personal readings too. I do not read on the Tower Bridge only because it makes no sense to be in competition with you girls. I do my own thing and I don't read on.
Oh, okay. That's great to know. And people can reach you through your own through TikTok so they can get a reading from you as well. Okay.
Yeah, you could see my Linktree is there. It has all the information for different things.
Awesome. Great stuff. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Sign up, come over to the community page. I believe you and a few other readers put some daily readings up, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
So they're getting a taste of what your reading style is. And there's just a lot of little different things going on. We even have a section for our pets, our fur babies, if
Yeah.
anyone's interested. And you can ask questions, not tower questions, but you can ask questions with the readers, different things, and just get to know people if you want to.
That's fantastic. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Denise. This was amazing. And I'm just looking forward to how the Tarot Bridge keeps evolving.